One is a Grand Arena Specialist from the UK. The other is a Territory Battle Tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. But with both having decades of hosting experience under their belt, the one thing we are sure of is you will be entertained. This is the Escape Pod Cast, a weekly look into the mobile game Star Wars: Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the Nerdy Network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Pod Cast.
Paul, are you sure going to every other week was a good idea?
Why do you say that, Nev?
Because now there's so much to talk about.
I mean, you say that like our weeks that we had nothing to talk about were good things.
Yeah, well, you know, now we have to cover kit reveals for Sanastaris and Reva.
Do we have to? Because, I mean, the new TB starts next week.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. We don't have enough time to talk about everything.
Okay, that's when you tap friends to come on the show and talk about them as well.
Yeah, but Bob's already busy with the other program. We can't burn him out. No.
I'm talking about Old Man Logan from the Old Man's Cantina. You know, the me in an alternate universe.
Ain't that the truth?
I mean, we changed to our bi-weekly shows for a reason. Plus, I mean, the worst case scenario, we can talk kits all we want on the year-end show. You know, there'll be Afra as well then probably too, right?
Ah, yes, we shall see.
So, I mean, we're going to lead with the new TB, right?
Sounds like a good plan to me.
All right, let's stop having a quick conversation meeting before the show and actually, you know, maybe do it.
Okay, with Patreon's choice on the bridge?
Yeah, you know that.
All this and breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast News.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Escape Pod Cast. I'm your host, the Nev, and as always, I'm joined by my hetero life partner, Paul. Paul, you know what? I'm half expecting for the screen to just go 5 hours later between me saying pod and cast, just so that you can mock me. You know, one of these days it's going to pop up, and I'll give you this look.
That would be fun. Before we began, Jedi Rules 189 says, hey from San Diego, and subscribe for 1 month. Cascade, subscribe for 1 month. Jedi Rules for 8 months, and Cass has been a subscriber for 31 months. Can you believe it's at least 31 months since we've been on Twitch?
31 months since we've been doing this. Yeah, that's nuts.
I mean, we say that every single time one of the longtime subscribers pops back in.
Yes, we are old hats at this now, aren't we?
So, all right. So we are, I mean, we've got a lot. So we could talk about the new kits for Sanastaros and also for Reva, or we could talk about what I love. Before we get into what I love, and which is territory battles, Neil, I'm going to give you the floor. What's been on your mind this past 2 weeks?
Just playing the game, basically. You know, I've obviously, you know, I'm a lot more casual, but it's weird. I'm in a new guild. I recently started in a new guild, very 300-y type. Well, it's a guild, but it's also an alliance. So I'm in a new guild, but it's called the Spartan Alliance. So you've got like different guilds within the Spartan Alliance, and I must admit I have never been in such a hardcore guild in my entire life. It is so well run. It is meticulously organized, and the extracurricular stuff they do, as not just a guild but as an alliance, they have Among Us nights, right? They have Star Wars Jeopardy, right? I mean, I don't want to, you know, toot my own horn.
Yes, you do.
Of course I do. I am the current Star Wars Jeopardy champion in the Alliance. After only doing it the once, I only got one question wrong, which was kind of nice. So, but yeah, it's really, really
okay.
Refreshing, and it gives me hope for that yes, there are a lot of disillusioned people out there, but there are no disillusioned people in this alliance, and it's refreshing to be amongst people who are not as disillusioned about the game as I am, because I kind of like lost my way, especially now that GAC has gone the way that GAC has gone.
I want to go back to the whole you got one question wrong on Jeopardy. Did you try to protest the answer? Were you like, actually?
No. As soon as I said it, I knew I'd got it right. I got the movies mixed up. It was the question was who said it, and I've got a bad feeling about this, and my thoughts instantly went to Han in Return of the Jedi, but Leia said it first in Empire Strikes Back when they're in the space worm, and they're outside the ship, going for the Minox. She's like, I have a bad feeling, and I was like, yeah, totally got it wrong. I got it right, but it was who said it. She was the first to say it.
Who was the first to say?
So, didn't Obi-Wan say it in the prequels?
In the prequels, yes.
No, it wasn't who said it. It was a Empire Strikes Back category. There was 5 categories: A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi,
Gotcha.
Who said it, and villains.
I was about to say chronologically.
I literally only got one question wrong.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And when I got my double Jeopardy, it's like, how many points do you want to gamble? I just went all of them. All of them.
All right.
So a lot of fun.
And you heard chiming in there, if you're on the listening side of everything, you heard our good friend, we call him Bob. He's modeled after our friend Bones. Bob, how has your past 2 weeks been?
It's been great, man. Busy. Got a promotion and stuff at work, so working a lot of hours.
The AI got a promotion at work.
Yep.
So you've gone from one cash register to another? What's going on?
Yeah. You guys gave me an upgrade, and now I'm able to do 2 things at once now. It feels good. But no, everything's going good, man. Had a lot of news game-wise, and I'm ready to get on it. Let's do it, boys.
All right. Anything else, Neil? Because, I mean, this new territory battle thing. Before we get into it, I do want to go over the title update. So the new glasses are not working that well. Our latest title update finishes rolling out and introduces a ton of big changes. You'll be required to update your game from your app store and get the latest data. We knew about that. We knew about Territory Battles Rise of the Empire. They announced that Third Sister, a.k.a. Riva, is your Territory Battle character for now, one might say. But then they gave a list of other changes. And if you're a member of a hardcore guild, Neil, listen up now. These changes are going to affect you if you're not paying attention. Bones. All right. Rewards for Hoth and Geonosis territory battles have been adjusted, so lower star rewards are similar to higher star rewards. All older territory battles have had their deploy, combat, and platoon mission icons updated. So here's where it starts. Graphic update to the activity log to better help guilds see important mission updates and where guild members have contributed. Updated text strings in the activity log for all territory battles. New color coding for new color coding for easier parsing, which, I mean, that we saw that last time. They've also the icons now show if there are any actions players can still take for that mission. I think that's local. I don't think that that's guild wide. So if you see that icon, you can still do something. They also added a new icon to the top layer of the map, which shows which zone character shards can be earned by guilds. This tells me that the new territory battle is going to be as modular as they say, because they didn't say added an icon where you can find Riva. Added a new icon to the top layer of the map. Now this, I'm jumping to conclusions here, that actually might also show in the Hoth and Geonosis territory battles as well.
More than likely, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be across all territory battles, that.
And they added better progress bars to help show guilds what milestone they have achieved and how many points remain until they unlock their next milestone. They've updated character tiles for the deploy and platoon missions, and new info screen showing what bonuses guilds will unlock for each completed level of a platoon mission. The thing that everybody needs to know, though, is it shows where guild members have contributed. This is going to be huge for it, so you're not having to do a guild-wide tag when two people haven't done their CMs and you can't figure out who it is. Now you can. I keep seeing you look at me, Bob.
I'll go ahead and just leave the guild now.
Give me back the account.
Give me a chance, one more chance, and we'll see how it goes.
But, I mean, you're going to hear that. Now, how many accounts are you currently running, Nev?
Just the two.
Are both of them in the same guild?
Yes.
So if one of them's not performing,
I'm kind of a package kit. I'm a package deal. You know, that's what I said to Nightmare. It's like I will come and join your alliance. I will come and be in your guild, but it's got to be both accounts. There's very little difference between the two accounts, with one exception to that, and that is one account has 5 GLs and the other has 3. But GP wise, one's 7.8 and one is 7.7 and the other is 8.1. So there's only 400k between the two accounts.
Speaking of 5 GLs, I unlocked Jabba this past week.
Oh, nice one.
So I am now in the Jabba having club, but I'm not in the Chirotech having club though. So it's still, he's not relicked yet.
No, I have, although I will say I have started on my main account. I have made a concerted effort to start on Slacker because I've got 2 light side GLs. I figure my OCD has been bugging me because I have an odd number. I need to have an even number and I need to have 2 light and 2 dark. So I'm going for Slacker because I've got all of the characters at 7 stars. So no farming is required. And it's now going to be super easy for me to get them all to gear 12. So I'm going to take advantage of the whole gear acceleration, which is the next part of the post.
Which is the next part of the post. I've already seen it. I've already benefited from it. Because I was short some blue eyeballs on Jabba. Instead of having to go 5 and 5, I was able to go, boop, I'm going to buy 10 with my guild event currency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So why don't you go ahead and read that part while I yell at the space dogs.
Mm-hmm. As we enter our 7th year, we continue to be committed to bringing new and exciting experiences like the territory battles to you, and we are also committed to ensuring that our new, returning, and existing players are able to access all the game has to offer. With that in mind, we're announcing significant changes to a wide range of gear items, modeled after the character shard acceleration we did in 2020. Yes. It was 2 years ago. At a high level, these changes will double the amount of most gear available to all players. There we go. See this post for more information. And there's a little hyperlink underneath that says that you can click on and you can open. And it's the road ahead from 2022, which we all know about because, you know, there was a lot of furore about exactly what it was going to do to the gear economy, specifically with regards to salvaging gear for relic materials. because obviously there was a big to-do about that. AP Gaines and Arnold had instantly went out and said, just get rid of all of this gear now. And I'm thinking to myself, well, no, you don't need to do it now. Just wait until the day before the change and then do it. Because if you do it right now, like before the changes happen and you don't have the yes. I was one of those people that was like, yes, you're right. You're just wrong with when to implement that. So because I did it. I personally did it before the changes kicked in accordance with the title update saying that the X, Y, and Z was going to change. I bought a boat, I converted a boatload of my blues that only had half the value. I did an absolute shed load of them, so that I've now got like hundreds and hundreds of the relic materials, because I wanted to take advantage of that just before the change. So Arnold and AP Gaines were right. You needed to convert it if you wanted to get value, but they were saying do it then, right now, do it right now. And I'm like, no, don't do it right now. Wait till just before the change, which is what I did. So let's move on to the other news, shall we? Because the other news is actually quite good.
All right. So,
other news.
Oh, do you mean that Mara Jade is now extra crispy?
I just think, everybody else gets to love her now like I love her, but extra fast. They don't, it's not, oh God, it's no longer a grind. It's now worth farming. It was always worth farming for her.
They don't get to take their time with her like Nev did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Although
taking his time, 5 spins on a pack.
Five spins, yes. Although I will say I'm a little bit disappointed because the original top line of the other news was Darth Treya has a new Omicron, but they're not doing it until the next update. And I've got
which is next week.
Yeah, I have an Omicron burning a hole in my pocket right now, and it is definitely going on both accounts. It's definitely going on Treya. It is definitely going. I'm saying I'm just going to make my.
Okay.
I'm going to make my Darth Nihilus weak, so that the second he gets hit, he's instantly going under 90%. His cooldown for his Annihilate is going to be instantly available, and it's going to be boom. You're dead. You're dead. So that Omicron is just going to make Nihilus so much better.
Here's the Omicron. Sith allies gain 40%. This is Grand Arena.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So, of course, Nev's going to put it on. Sith allies gain 40% critical damage, max health, and offense. When a Sith ally suffers a debuff, they gain 10% bonus protection. This is stuff that we already knew with...
Yeah, we already knew, yeah.
We already knew that. When an allied Darth Talon... Or, hold on, there's a few different ones here. At the start of each Sith ally's turn, Treya dispels all buffs on them, and all Sith allies... gain 5% critical damage, health steal, max health, offense, stacking 100%. Until the end of the encounter. When Talon is critically hit or inflicted with a debuff, Treya gains 12% offense. When a Nihilus, Scion, or Talon's health falls below 90% for the first time, their cooldowns are refreshed. Which, as Neil said...
That's the big one.
Instant annihilate from Nihilus.
As long as he gets hit. Obvious. Anybody putting that on defense and facing it on defense, they're going to be looking at Nihilus thinking, "Don't touch him. Don't touch Nihilus," because the second you hit him, it's going to drop him below 90, and you know that his next turn is going to annihilate someone on your team. So
you have to have some way to get to that right away. Or it's, if he dies, if he goes below 90% and he's not killed before the next turn, yes, they get that off. So where's the turn?
I've remodded him. I'm remodding him for speed already.
Okay, so it's fast but paper.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be my new paper tiger. I want him fast enough to go first, but not before my opponent takes their turn and knocks him down to 90%.
What were you getting? Go ahead, Bob.
I'm saying, and then put the Savage Oppress Omicron as a 5th. Think how scary that'll be on defense.
Oh,
wow.
On defense, yeah, you would need a really, really good team to take that on defense. I don't have the spare Omicron for Savage, though, unfortunately. Just a spare one for Treya.
And it only happens when each of those 3 have fall below 90% for the first time. It doesn't happen each time. So you can't heal them up and annihilate. Heal up, annihilate. Heal up, annihilate. No. Put health seal on that something. All right. So, Malgus can have Marauder. Nice. Treya, Frank 2 says, Treya, Scion, Nihilus, Savage, and Talon. Has to be. Malgus can have Marauder. That it will be pretty nice. All right. It's time. It's time. Let's talk about what I'm calling Roe TB, ROE, Rise of the Empire. So, you know, you heard me say GOTB. I'm pretty sure it's going to be called Roe TB by the masses, unless they wish to spite me, which is fine. New territory battle, Rise of the Empire, launches soon, and some of the details to help you prepare for our first territory battle that uses your entire roster. Why do they like to say that, Neil?
They love saying that. I don't believe them anymore. They said that about challenges, and I was crestfallen when it turned out to be complete and utter rubbish. And that's me using, that's me
nice
being
words.
Diplomatic with my language. Okay, because I would have used much, much more industrial language at any other time, but I don't believe them. I 100% do not believe that sentence, because they've said it twice before. They said it with challenges, they said it with conquest, and it's false. It's false, and it's false now because they are making people, they're giving modifiers to very, very specific characters. So it's, in our first territory battle, that makes you use the roster that we want you to use. That would be a more accurate statement. But using your entire roster, maybe for the tip of the spear guys that have an entire roster with R9.
Of Relic
definitely.
9, exactly.
For the tip of the spear, yes, those guys will be using their entire roster. But for everybody else, it's like, well, what have I got at 8, 9, and 7, 8, and 9? Because everything else is pretty much going to be useless.
Yeah. Each phase will require characters of a specific relic level. Not all squads composed of that relic level are guaranteed to clear every wave of every encounter in that phase. Even squads and characters over the minimum relic level may find certain encounters or planetary modifiers insurmountable. Insurmountable is a strong word.
Yes. They're being diplomatic with their language. It's, because the reality is going to be the reality of insurmountable is, that's a diplomatic word for impossible for 99.9% of the player base.
No, insurmountable means you cannot surmount it.
You can't mount it.
Exactly.
Mounted.
You can't go. I mean, if you can't beat it, why? I've said it before, and Bob's got a smile on his face because he knows exactly what I'm going to say. Why do you want to slam your junk in a car door?
My favorite. I read that you need 1 billion GP to be able to compete.
1.2.
Isn't that insane? Think about that. So they plan on
billion.
If people are saying this game's dead, they're never going to stop.
1.2 billion GP.
Oh, GP.
Yeah, it's just it's nuts. Yeah, we'll discuss that kind of thing when we get to the end of it.
Yeah. So phase 1, minimum requirement relic 5, yet they recommend relic 6. Phase 2, minimum requirement relic 6, though they recommend relic 7. Phase 3 is 7 and 8. Phase 4 is relic 8 and 9. And then phase 5, minimum requirement relic 9, recommended relic 9. Some people are like, oh, here comes relic 10. Shut up. If they start, you saw how relic 9 was the reason that we got the great character nerf. Because characters at relic 9 with their current abilities would have been Good word here.
No.
Insurmountable.
No, the nerf happened just before Relic 9.
That's what I'm saying.
Because if you remember that they did it to balance GAC. So obviously you had the Dark Troop, Vader, Watt,
Thrawn,
Gas. I can't remember off the top of my head all of the characters that got nerfed.
Thrawn.
But obviously those what?
Thrawn.
Yeah, Thrawn. Those ones that got nerfed, if you remember, they gave everybody back the relic material to Relic 0, and then people were given, people then could choose whether or not they wanted to re-Relic 8 those characters, because a lot of people didn't bother taking Dark Trooper back to Relic 8 because it wasn't going to be able to do what he did when he was originally Relic 8. And then obviously, Relic 9 came out. Yeah.
But I mean, we knew that Relic 9 was coming out. They said that the nerf was so Relic 9 didn't break the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely disheartening when people instantly go, oh, here comes Relic 10. Let us play with our toys. We say it all the time. By the way, minimum requirements.
It's a horrible looking table, though.
They say recommended relic levels should be used as a rough guideline. Mods, squad composition, combat strategy, and operations will greatly impact the difficulty of these battles. Also,
and RNG. Don't forget RNG. Never, ever, ever discount RNG. I mean, I may have a Relic 7 Shack T, but my clone troopers are all Relic 3, and I can get cam shards, but I put God mods on them, so you can. And then I have Relic 6 and Relic 7. I have Relic 6 and Relic 7 clone troopers on my other account that don't get cam shards. So that instantly tells me there's a lot of RNG dependent in some of these territory battles. So we just kind of got to hope that the guilds that will be attempting this, that there are some really good theory crafters in there, because it's going to need some absolute wizard theory crafting so that people can go through this with the minimum requirements.
Well, so SB Crumb did a kind of a breakdown on his own channel last night. Did you get any chance to tune in?
I didn't tune into it because I wasn't aware. I thought I wasn't aware that it was going on at the time. But I have watched some of the replays, and it looks like he was just doing some of the tier 1 stuff.
Yeah, he was doing some of the tier 1 stuff, and he was completing it.
But he was completing it with Relic 9s. That test account, that test account.
I'm just saying he was completing it. He was showing that it can be done. Unlike what can happen in light side territory battles for Geonosis, where if you sneeze if the wind is blowing west and you sneeze towards your feet at a 23-degree angle, Droideca's going to kick the shit out of you.
Yeah.
So,
Stun.
Yeah. And it still comes out of stun and it kicks the crap out of you.
She still comes out of stun and goes, I'll hold my beer. Your stun is useless.
Exactly.
I've had it one shot my JMK before.
Oh.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah. And you know why? That's because you ran in before platoons were done. Oh, and you didn't platoon.
I stand corrected. I was misinformed. Ultimate Crafting Way says it wasn't R9. He showcased R6 tunes.
There you go. So he was playing with toys that.
So he was using really.
I hit the wrong button there. He was playing with toys that, as you said, were nicely modded. But my stupid finger slipping on this. I guess that means we should go to a commercial. Coming back after this, we'll talk about what the hell operations are right here on the Escape Pod cast.
Are you like us and play more than one mobile game? Well, we have good news. The Escape Podcast has expanded its lineup.
There's the flagship Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes show every first and third Friday with Paul Anthony and the Nav.
And the Marvel Strike Force show on the second and fourth Fridays with Flair, Kyle, and Nick.
Join our Discord to stay up to date with these and our additional shows produced under the Nerdy Network flag.
Everything happens live on the Escape Pod cast Twitch channel, or you can catch up on what you missed on our YouTube channel or your favorite podcast app.
Thanks for listening to the Escape Pod cast. Be nice to each other, damn it. HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Hey there, listeners. Merchandise specialist Critty K here. Do you enjoy the Escape Pod and want to support the channel and get something a little extra for yourself as well? Head on over to tpublic.com/user/theescapepodcast and grab a Team Neil, Team Paul, Critty Play, or many other fun Padawan designs on your choice of shirt, cup, sticker, mask, or even a magnet. And be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast Discord and get the latest info on the other designs I make as well. Sometimes there's even a sale going on, so it is smart to stop on by. Thank you for supporting the Escape Pod cast.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to Shitty Bill's Arena Tracking Bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
You're listening to the Escape Pod cast.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've had a break. Paul, take us back into territory battles.
Okay, so minimum requirements are for combat missions and operations, but not deployment. We, Yevon 4, on deployment alone, can get about 22 stars. So that's not bad. Other guilds, you know, your mileage may vary, especially if you're in the lower end guild. But this is absolutely, with Relic 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 requirements, end game content, right? I mean,
No, it's no. It's
no, not end game
No.
content.
It's not end game content. This is tip of the spear content. This is the this is for the 0.5 to 0.1 top end. The top 4 guilds in the entire game will be lucky if they make it past lucky if they can get to phase 4, because even those guilds don't have all 50 people don't have every single character at Relic 9. They don't. There'll be a push for the top guild in the world to do just that, but they won't know how to do it. They won't know how to play it. RNG. There's more. It's just because it's just not light side territory battle is still the end game. This new territory battle is beyond end game. It's for those it's for the Krakens and the Leviathans that have spent huge amounts of money but literally have nothing to do because they can walk through light side GOTB. This is something for those people that can literally just swat anything away in their path right now. They can do challenges on auto, they can do conquest on auto, they can do light side GOTB on auto. This new territory battle is for those people primarily, I think. Don't get me wrong, other people, of course, other guilds are going to be able to do it, but most guilds that attempt this are going to be lucky if they get past 9 or 10 stars, that is.
Yeah. All right.
It's going to be join and deploy. And obviously, if you've got 350 mil guild or a 400 mil guild, you're going to eke out maybe one more star than someone that's, 10, 20, 30, 40 mil below you.
There are the phase stuff. I mean, it's a wall of words. It's absolutely a wall of words.
It's a word salad, and I don't like salad.
I will read that in a second, Janix. We see that on Coruscant, Jedi, Mace Windu, Kit Fisto, and the Outrider are all heroes for the planet of Coruscant. On the planet of Mustafar, Lord Vader and the Scythe, which we can't even get right now, are heroes. In the mixed, Dr. Aphra, Jabba the Hutt, Young Han, Kira, Lando's Falcon, and the Outrider. All those are heroes. We have a lot to do. It is the same amount as the other territory battles. It's just split into three things three columns. There we go. 3 columns. Dark side, mixed, and light side. You're saying that you don't think anybody's going to get all the way to 6 on one of them?
Not unless they're the tip of the spear. There are people that pay, right? Okay, there are people that whale out. There are whales, right? There is only so much salvage that an account can come up with in order to take characters to relics 7, 8, and 9. Sure, they made the change that said that you didn't need the bronzium wiring, the first 2, when you were taking something to 8 or 9, but that's a very, very small amount of that's a very small amount of respite. It really, really is. I mean, you speak to you talk to Ranger. Ranger's completely and utterly tapped out at the moment. Completely and utterly tapped out. He is struggling to find the materials to put together the salvage in order to make more Relic 7, and that's just Relic 7. And if you are a Kraken or a Leviathan, let's not forget it's $150 to take something from Relic 7 to Relic 8. That's one pack for one character. You're going to need more than one character getting boosted from 7 to 8 and then from 8 to 9. And that's why I say it's primarily aimed at the the tip of the spear. I mean, somebody just threw someone just threw in the chat. Jacksix just threw something in the chat, with the lower guilds. It's not going to work out. Yes, 9 stars gets you get 3 currency to get 5 shards of a character in the get, in the get store, right? But 9 stars only gets you 1/3 of what you would likely get of get 2 if you were doing a GOTB. And you can get more gear with that get 2 than you can with the get 3. So yes, sure, you could sacrifice and get your 5 cam twice a month and get 10 guaranteed cam shards by just going in and deploying. But if you're in a guild that even is, if there's only 10 people in your guild, if there's more than 10 people in your guild getting cam shards doing the light side GOTB, well then it's kind of, it's
better than that.
Half a dozen of the other.
Better than that, 5. Because you could buy 5 shards. So if your guild is getting more than 5 shards on light side, because you can only do it.
You can still only do light side GOTB once a month. Yeah.
And that's what Bob was computing earlier. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
But there's nothing exactly, Al Bundy says it. There's nothing good in get 3 yet. There really, really isn't. The gear that you would get, the gear that you would get with your get 2, if there's no speeding up on that gear, you've still got to pay the premium for that equipment, that gets you from 12 to 13 so that you can relic characters. So it's going to be put it this way. My guild selected the new territory battle. Then it cancelled that and selected the GOTB. Then it cancelled that and went for the new one. And then it cancelled. So we'd swapped 4 times. That was how much it's like, yeah, but, so we're doing this. And then somebody put forward an argument. Yeah, but we should really do this. It's, all right, we'll go. Yeah, but we should really try the new one. Yeah, let's go. No. Let's just go with what we know so that we won't. So, yeah, we changed it 4 times. And that's our guild. And our guild's in excess of 350 million GP. So, and that's it.
I think it's new and people need to try it out because we had the same conversation in both my guilds pretty much. I don't think we did it in Yavin, but in my other one, we talked about it for a while. We took a vote and I was like, let's just try it. You need to try it to see what you get. And then you can compare after the first time. But I definitely encourage people to do it. If you think you can do it a little bit, at least try it out.
You can.
It's like the. Oh, sorry. I was about to say it's like the first time you try light side GOTB.
Yeah, we know we're gonna be bent over.
Exactly. Everybody was going in that. Everyone was going in wave 1 with their, GL Ray teams and getting getting wave 1 or 2 or 4, and everyone's like, "Excuse me, what's going on here? I've got a Relic 7 GL. Why are these clones wiping the floor with it?"
In phase 1, absolutely true.
Yeah.
In phase 1, that should not be. Anyway, phase 1, the special missions. Phase 1, 15 get. Phase 4, there's 20. Phase 4, there's 20. Phase 5, there's another 20. And then, of course, in phase 3, there's 1 third sister shard for each success there. I want to go through the phases here one by one. You have, once you get to 116.4 million, I'm not going to go too far into this. 116.4 million ground units equals a star. That's for your mixed. I'm actually scrolling down here. I want to see if there's another piece. There are so much information dumped into SWGOH events that it is crazy. There's also, it seems like about 116 million to 148 million is your first star area. That's achievable by most guilds. So you're getting, if you're going over 6, 6 phases, and you hit each of those milestones, you're getting 1 star each time, right?
Yes.
So therefore, there is a chance for you to blitzkrieg additional stars if you sandbag an area. If you could get double the stars. This is not a bad idea. On Lothal, you can get 246 million, gets you the first star, but then the third star is at 524. If you have just enough left in the tank, you can 3-star that instead of getting 1111111. It's going rely on your territory battle officers for this. They're going to be doing math. Just get your stuff in time so the math can be done. If a territory battle officer is sitting there waiting for 5 people, they usually can do the math. But when they're sitting there waiting for 10, 15 people, they don't know how you're going to do. Even if they, have faith in you, it still is, did you get the right, as you said, RNG?
Yeah. You get the right RNG. Well, did you remember to change your mods?
Exactly. So
I can see HotUtils becoming a very, very popular tool with this new TB coming out. And very, very popular.
And it very well should. It very, very well should.
Because there's no doubt in the back of my mind that the HotUtils team will be going over this meticulously and figuring out how they can do loadout, how they can do mod loadouts specifically for this new territory battle. And then people won't have to do the math. Territory battle officers won't need to do the maths. They just need, HotUtils.
Gigan0 says they are going to be pulling their hair out over that math. If things are done, okay, these are, and this is also another wake-up call to a lot of people. These are 24-hour phases.
Yeah, it's back to 24 hours.
Get the platoons in early. Get take care of all the other stuff early so you have time to get the combat missions in before. I mean, even if we could rely on everybody to deploy between, and I'm talking Central Time here, 9 a.m. to noon. If we can guarantee that, you still have 21 hours to get platoons filled, especially if they affect the same platoon area, and also to get your combat missions in. Your combat missions in the first areas are 100,000 and 200,000 for the galactic score. They no longer call it, a territory points. It's galactic score.
Yeah, they like using that word, CG, don't they? Galactic. They really, really like using the G word.
Platoons are worth 10 million. 10 million. People are complaining about the whole, 1 billion. 10 million for just sacrificing your characters. Oh, I want to use them. Yeah, you're going to get 100,000, if that. If you just put it in the platoon, you'll get the guild 10 million.
Yeah, if the character's less than Relic 5, just don't fool yourself. It's not going to be any good in a battle.
No. Even Relic 5, you can't platoon it. You can't platoon it. It has to be that relic.
I thought you said earlier that
operations
it doesn't have to meet the relic requirements.
Operations are the new platoons, and operations require a minimum relic.
Oh, I thought earlier on. I thought you said that the platooning doesn't require a relicking requirement.
Deploying.
Just the battles, just the CMs have a. Oh, right, okay.
Deployment doesn't matter. That's why I'm saying, chucking in throwing your weight into it is a good thing in this situation.
Yeah, well, in that case, it'll be people that have, the people that do the platooning will be the people with the, to put it bluntly, the mods that suck. You know, if you're being honest, it's like, yeah, you know, I've only been playing this game for 3 years. My mods suck.
Guess what?
Then guess what? You're sacrificing your character for the platooning.
I'm excited that we have Dickie Darkside in Yavin 4 because he's going to be platooning his Relic 9 Mob Enforcer. You better believe that, Dickie. It's all the information dump that we got is I'm actually excited, but you were talking about how this is not going to be as bad as when the what do you call it?
When Lightside GOTV came out.
Yeah,
and the guilds,
thank you.
Yeah, I was in a guild that just got decimated because of that. Because there were people, yeah, I want the cam, I want the cam shards. Our guild aren't going to be able to get cam shards, and the 15 strongest accounts all left. And the guild was just, destroyed as a result. I don't see that happening on this occasion because, like I said, only the tip of the spear is going to be able to hit Reaver, and everybody else is just going to be like seeing how many stars they can get and see where it is. Don't get me wrong. I think that anybody that doesn't do everything that they possibly can do in order to achieve that 11th or that 12th or that 15th star, to just get that little bit of extra get 3 currency. Because you've got to remember that the tip of the spear already has Cam, Watt, Dad, Bod, Bobber. That all of the characters that you can spend your currency on, those accounts have already got all of those characters relicked and 7-starred. So the get 3 currency for that purpose, they're not thinking that's what the get 3 currency is for that purpose. They're thinking, I get to use my get 3 currency for these bits of gear that, so I don't have to spend $100 buying that pack when I can just use my get 3 currency to get what I want. So, and it's ultimately the tip of the spear prize is Reaver, because those guys have probably already got Inquisitors at Relic 7
and GI.
And we all know that, and the Relic they're not as good as that they were made out to be, and Reaver is apparently going to make the Inquisitors just awesome again. So the prize for the tip of the spear guilds is Reaver, getting Reaver first, and then facing a Reaver Inquisitor squad on defense in territory wars and in GAC, and people hitting those walls going, okay, great.
Let's take a look at these rewards real quick. The average guild is getting 23 stars. The average guild in Lightside Geonosis territory.
In Lightside GOTV, yeah.
Yep. At 23 stars, you get 5,800. Get 1 guild event tokens for, by the way, for those who are like, what the hell are they talking about? Get. Guild event tokens 2, 6,150, and you get 750 crystals. Let's look. I'm going to look for the equivalent. There is no equivalent in Grand Arena or in Guild event tokens 1 unless you play, Hoth territory battles. 5,000 is the maximum you can get of Guild event token 1. And that happens at 13 stars. It maxes out at 13 stars.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, 23 stars, you're getting 6,150. There's no way to match that in Guild Event 2 if you're playing Rise of Empire. The point where it maxes out is at 24 stars, where it maxes out at 6,000. A lot of people are equating the crystal count because you also start getting Guild Event Token 3, which you said 9 stars is the minimum, 2,200 get 3?
Yeah. To get 5 watt or 5 cam, you need 2,125, I think, in order to get 5 of them. So 9 stars gets you 5 cam or 5 watt shards from the store.
So, and that's 2,200. So if we go to doing it twice, getting 24 stars gives you 4,450. But remember, we're talking about 23 stars in Geonosis gets you 750 crystals. If you can get to 21 stars on the new territory battle, that will get you 750 crystals. That is the one thing that can be consistent across the board, is the crystal payouts. Now let's talk about these. Let's talk about this on an even higher level. Those getting more should probably expect more in Rise of Empire. If you are doing nothing if you're doing crap in Geo, don't touch Row until you're getting 23 stars in Geonosis.
Like GOT, yeah.
The lowest amount of crystals you can get is 250 by getting 1 star during the entire thing. You will get 3,000 get 1, 2,000 get 2, and 1,000 get 3.
Yeah, it's not even worth doing the event for that amount of rewards. It really, really isn't.
You might as well get 3,850, get 1, 3,450, get 2, and get 300 crystals with 8 stars in Geo.
Which any guild, which most guilds could get, even if they just platooned. If they just deployed. Yeah.
This is not going to tear guilds apart
no,
Lightside Geo.
This is not. I think that they've deliberately done it like that because there was such an uproar. The amount of guilds that got screwed over because of the Lightside GOT. I think that they were trying to avoid that on this occasion, and I will give CG credit for that. I will give the likes of Crumb credit. Crumb will be like, we can't have the same furore over guilds getting destroyed for this new territory battle like we did for the old territory battle, and that's why I think that they've geared that those rewards the way that they have, so that the guilds aren't going to think, right, okay, we need to get rid of these guys and bring in some heavyweights, or the heavyweights are thinking, well, I need to leave and go here. It's like, well, yeah, sure, you can. No matter if you stay here and do this territory battle, you're still going to get more crystals. Sure, you're not going to get the get 3, but you're still going to get more crystals. You go to a bigger guild, yeah, sure, you might get some more stars and you'll get some get 3, but you're not going to get as many crystals. And that is, like I said before, the crystal income is only going to affect the majority of guilds. The tip of the spear, they don't care about crystals because they're spending tens of thousands on this game anyway and buying crystals hand over fist.
Yeah, they're spending real money on crystals.
Exactly. The crystal income to the tip of the spear is irrelevant. They're wanting the get 3 and they're wanting the Reaver shards.
All right. Bob, what's your thoughts on this whole new territory battle? I mean, does it compute?
It doesn't compute. It's a lot of words that have made me overheat. So, no, I think it's fun. It's new content. I think once it gets going and everyone starts making content over it, everyone will kind of ease up on it. And, all the big content creators start putting out, tips and tricks on it. And, but it's demoralizing to see the relic requirements, but it's made for how long have we been doing light side territory laws?
2 years.
2 years.
And we're just now, people are starting to get max stars. So that's what they're doing now. It's just, they got to give us something else to work on. Like you said, tip of the spear. So I'm excited about it. I will participate this time. Okay.
Good. No, also really, really quick, I just wanted to point this out, and then we'll throw to you to correct us if we went wrong anywhere. Geonosis Dark Side, 900 crystals for 32 stars. That's what Yavin's getting. For 900 crystals, we have to get 27 stars, but we do get 4,900 get 3. So
Yeah, everybody that does this territory battle for the first time, it's going to be the same rude awakening as everybody that did Lightside GOTB for the first time. And, finishing with less than double-digit stars, and everyone's like, what the heck? But 3 months down the line, everybody was in double digits because the theory crafters were like, okay, you use this team specifically for this CM. You use this team specifically for this one. This team specifically. That's all it's going to take. But it is going to take a few months. It will take a few months.
Zaz
for the
says,
theory crafters to suss it.
Zaz says, just tell Bob that Phase 6 rewards get you a free subscription to Droid Hub. Bob, did we go wrong anywhere? What did we get wrong? And what are your thoughts before we throw it to the incoming transmission?
You did great, and it was funny he said that because I was just about to say, I have a date with Droid Hub, so I gotta go. So let's wrap this up. All right. I was literally gonna say that too until you said that. But yeah, I think it's gonna be okay. We're gonna be all right. It gives us something to complain about, work on, and until the next big thing. But that's about all I got to say about it.
By the way, huge shout out to Dexter Lab 97 on Reddit. Thank you very much for crunching these numbers all together. It is appreciated, and you are a star of this community for taking your time out to do this. So thank you on the behalf of the Escape Pod cast. We'll be right back.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or territory wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards, including after-show access, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
The Escape Pod, cast for kids. It's really cool.
Hello there, Podawans, and welcome back to Storytime with Uncle Thad and the Escape Pod cast for kids. Tonight, we're going to look at one of the OG characters from back when the game originally launched. She's been a steady early character for many of today's veteran players, and even though she isn't as useful as she once was, she is still someone that I think most of us have enjoyed at one time or another. But with a recent Omicron added to her kit, I thought it would be a good idea to take another look at Jedi Master Luminara Unduli and see just where in canon her story fits. Luminara Unduli was a female Mirialan Jedi Master who lived during the height of the Galactic Republic. Born on the planet Muriel, she was taken to the Jedi Temple at a young age, where she excelled in lightsaber combat and diplomacy. She mastered Sorisu form of lightsaber combat and eventually gained the rank of Jedi Master. She went on a variety of diplomatic missions and served as a counselor to a number of high-ranking senators. The Jedi Council called her to act as Jedi advisor for the Council to some of the most prominent members of the Senate, including Phineas Valorum and Supreme Chancellor Palpatine. While Luminara had a distinguished career as a Jedi throughout the galaxy, it seems that the one thing she will be remembered for was her Padawan, Barriss Offee. Like Luminara, Barriss was a Mirialan Jedi. Unlike Luminara, Barriss was a bit of a klutz, both in word and deed. During a lightsaber practice, Barriss would swing wildly, never really aiming at anything. Those Jedi who didn't know Barriss super well tended to think that she was trying to practice Vapad. But she was just really bad. During diplomatic negotiations, Barriss would often say offensive things. Not on purpose, mind you. She wasn't mean. She just didn't know any better. But offensive nevertheless. Ironically, she once jokingly called Chancellor Palpatine a Sith Lord because of his stance on taxes. Now, the Chancellor laughed it off, but Luminara was embarrassed and sent the young Padawan to meditate about what she had said. It was during this meditation period that Barriss accidentally set off explosive devices, blowing up part of the Jedi Temple. Not wanting to further embarrass her master, she blamed a fellow Padawan. But Luminara Unduli was embarrassed beyond belief when she found out what her Padawan had done, and she placed herself into a carbonite-like sleep. Thinking her master was dead, Barriss further entombed Luminara in this, metal case. It was like a coffin with a faceplate just in case you wanted to look in, but she wanted to preserve her master's essence. It was this case that the Grand Inquisitor eventually found and used to lure desperate Jedi to their death. This all just goes to show you that teaching children has its hazards. I mean, I can't tell you how often I've been encased in metal tombs because of embarrassing things my students have done. But with that, let's take a look at Luminara Unduli's kit and just see where she fits in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Luminara's basic ability is a nod to just how bad Barriss was with a lightsaber. With every step she attempts, she gains evasion up, something she will need in order to avoid her Padawan's wild attacks. What I love about Luminara's first special ability is that she uses the Force to attack an opponent. She literally hits the enemy with what seems like nothing more than air. Can you see where I'm going with this? If she can hurt someone with air, what if she were able to use the Force to attack her opponents with farts? What if I could use the Force to attack my opponents with farts? Think of the possibilities. Her second special ability is the one that received the Omicron upgrade for Grand Arenas. What I like about this new Omicron is that essentially it undoes any damage created by Barriss Offee's carelessness. Like an apologetic parent, Luminara goes around handing out heal over times and defense up, coming up with excuses for a Padawan.
Sorry, she's just learning how to use a lightsaber. Ooh, don't worry, that will grow back. Ooh, she's better when she's on her medication.
Her leadership ability is actually a not-so-subtle nod to the time when Luminara was once an exotic dancer. Now, she left that all behind when she joined the Jedi, but she still would send the occasional Jedi Council member personalized dance lessons. It helped in her lightsaber combat. Well, that's it for me today. Stay tuned next week for more story time with Uncle Thad and the Escape Podcast for Kids. Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Podcastaways wants you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Podcastaways. All for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Hey there, listeners. Merchant Specialist Critty K here. Do you enjoy the Escape Pod and want to support the channel and get something a little extra for yourself as well? Head on over to tpublic.com/user/theescapepodcast and grab a Team Neil, Team Paul, Critty Play, or many other fun Padawan designs on your choice of shirt, cup, sticker, mask, or even a magnet. And be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast Discord and get the latest info on the other designs I make as well. Sometimes there's even a sale going on, so it is smart to stop on by. Thank you for supporting the Escape Pod Cast.
You're listening to the Escape Pod Cast.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for another incoming transmission. Paul, why don't you introduce our guests?
Our guests, I did not realize it was going to be both of them. It is basically you and I from an alternate universe, Neil. We got one free to play and one that likes to spend money at times. They are, if I were to ever, and I'm going to say this publicly, I've said it privately, I'm going to say it publicly now. If we were ever to hand the keys to anybody else, it would be these guys. It would be these guys. We are excited to have them on the show. The Immortal Cain, the Nev of the alternate universe, and Old Man
he
Logan.
Does have my old account.
Exactly.
He does have my old account. He's got the Pom-Pom-tastic account.
Mm-hmm.
How's everybody doing today?
Oh my God. Outstanding. Thank you guys for having us on. The miscommunication was my fault. I thought I had relayed that pivotal piece of intel to Cade, and you, Paul, but I didn't. But he's here, so even though I screwed up, all is well.
Well, nobody gives a crap about your account anymore because we already know, we've talked to you before. We have not talked to the man who now has Nev's old account. I mean, we kind of know what that account is, but he's done some major renovations, Nev. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, the Immortal Cain. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. I'm actually thrilled I was able to make it tonight.
Yeah, you apparently, traded shifts with somebody just so you could be on some podcast.
That's correct.
So, Cain, tell us about your account. Are you free? I've already spoiled. You are truly free to play. What's your focus right now?
Right now, my focus has been JML. I've already got everything relicked. I've been farming tickets. I maxed 144 tickets today. So
why?
Our plan is we're going to stream, we're going to live stream my entire JML unlock.
Okay. So
it get after you've done the first, it gets boring after you've done the first three phases.
I tried to tell him that.
I did the same thing, and it was like, oh god, it's rinse repeat. It got boring after the third phase. So yeah, sure, it's fun and it's exciting because it's your first GL, and that's why I did it. But by phase 3, you're like, yeah, sod it. I can't. I've got my 70, sod it. I've got the 60. Yeah, let's just go in and do it now because you're done. In and out. It's not like Ray. I'm on the last phase of Ray. I've still only got 2 donuts, and I've lost 3 times as many as I've won.
Ew.
And I'm following online guides, and it sucks. So JML, you've got it easy.
You need to go and do a different GL so you can get the donuts and use them on Ray.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, no, that I can't. There's no more light side. She's the I've got all of the other light side ones. I can't.
Yeah, but still, the ultimate mats don't matter.
No, because that would mean I'd have to do. That would mean I'd have to do either Vader or Jabba, and I have no intention of doing that. I'm going to wait until they bring the the Return of the Jedi GL layer out next year, and then I'll go for her.
Speaking of Jabba, Old Man Logan, I'm for the for the viewing audience, I'm showing them that Jabba is now unlocked on my account. So I have unlocked him. I know you've probably already taken him to Relic 9.
I was going to say, do you want to see my Relic 9 Java? Because I can show it to you.
Would you like to see my Relic 9 Hondo, asshat?
Oh, you know what? Touche. Good parry, old man. All right. Okay. Yep.
Let's get back to your co-host, Logan. What is your what has kept you in this game and made you want to deal with Logan on a weekly basis?
Wow, I'm a
answering that backwards. So dealing with Logan, I've been doing that for a decade and a half. It's that's second nature.
We're married.
He's
married. It's a bromance.
Exactly.
Indeed, it is.
Always has been.
Nev knows. He called it.
No, you guys were in the service together, so it's understandable.
Oh yeah, for a long time.
Oh, sometimes too long.
You wanted me to keep this topic off my lips. You know, you were Will Smith. You came and slapped me and said, "Keep Reva's name out my MF and mouth." So I have not talked about Reva, with the exception of that she's able to be farmed, or you're able to get her shards. But you didn't tell me whether you're pro Reva, anti Reva, or whatnot, Logan. What's the big deal? What's up? What got the hair up there about Reva?
Well, it's funny that you say that. The last episode we had, which was last Tuesday, Cain, correct me if I'm wrong, brother, but Reva just dropped. Like, I don't know what it is about Tuesdays, but Cain can attest to this, and we're not lying. Tuesday seems to be the day that CG drops kits, and we have an itinerary of what we want to do on an episode, and it completely goes awry. So Reva drops, and we were very fortunate to have Solo on, and we did
third sister.
We did Third Sister's kit, and I didn't really get a chance to read it, and then it was spontaneous. I did we did the episode with Solo, and I realized after the episode, this is definitely a hard counter for Jedi Master Kenobi. This kit is a hard counter, because if you look at it,
shouldn't it be?
Oh well, I mean, absolutely. She's the lead. She grants 5 stacks of Purge from her lead on the onset. Grand Inquisitor's unique grants an additional stack. That's 6 stacks of Purge,
which is a max.
Second, the battle starts. On her basic, she does how much damage per stack? Up to a total of 180% damage. And on her revive, gains another 100%. And then on the second revive, another 200%. And on her leadership...
We haven't gone into the kit too much.
All right. But on her leadership, defense is lost from bonus protection. What does Jedi Master Kenobi do? Especially when you put Padme in the team. It's all bonus protection. So they lose defense while Reva gets stronger. Because what CG did, Reva's kit is an answer to Cat. You have to kill her 3 times. It's literally an answer to Cat. You kill her
and
once.
Reva's a tank. And we haven't mentioned that. Reva is a tank.
And the first time you kill her, she gains stronger. The second time you happen to kill her, providing you don't have the other tank of the Inquisitorius squad in there, you kill her again, she gets stronger. It's just it screams they've...
Isn't that what they say, though? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger?
Absolutely. And I honestly think this is a Jedi Master Kenobi counter, especially in GAC, it's an absolute hard counter to Jedi Master Kenobi. That's my hot take on that. I think the days of people putting Jedi Master Kenobi on defense will be numbered when, after... And Nev, please crunch the numbers, how long it'll take.
2 years.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. To get that tune. But That's where
I mean, the first the first people to get it are going to be the tip of the spear people at the top of GAC. So only people in the top 100, possibly even the top 50, are likely to face someone with a Reaver, and it's still going to come through a trickle, because there's no way that all 50 members of a guild are going to get it all at the same time. It's going to be a handful of people. There's going to be a handful of people getting it, because people come and go in a guild, and if let's say hypothetically they get 10, so everybody starts with 10, and then they get another 10 following on that month, and then the month 6 months down the line there might be 10 new members, and 10 people might have left to go to another guild, and they're now all of a sudden only getting 6, but the new people coming in all of a sudden gets the guild 15. So it's going to be, there's going to be a handful of people, and they're all going to be at the very, very top.
And which is why, Nev, you said earlier in the episode that this event is for the tip of the spear. In some respects, I agree with you, and especially with Third Sister's kit, a lot of it has to do with the cadence that CG released for the Grand Inquisitor event. We got it once, and then I swear to God, Grand Inquisitor went on safari. He was gone. He was just gone. And then
they did that with not Malgus. They did that with Malik. I don't blame them whatsoever. And it was almost the exact same time, because he didn't come back until December.
And I agree with that. That I agree with. My only issue is I think they should have postponed this event until everybody got another crack at because if you look at it from a revenue standpoint, if they'd waited and did the Grand Inquisitor event, yet released all the requirements for this new TB, that would have been a money-making machine. Ooh, Reva! Everyone's gonna go nuts. I think they should have done the Grand Inquisitor event before this started.
I don't. I think that this is the gift. With Grand Inquisitor, this mission will be easy. This is the gift to the people who busted their ass 6 months ago to get Grand Inquisitor.
I don't know, because even if you had all the requirements for the cam mission, you had to remod your 501st, and that was
okay.
Cam shards was not easy.
If you take the time to remod, and I'm not saying being, total retentive about it, but if you remod your Grand Inquisitor team with your cam mods, have it.
Tip of the spear are going to be the tip of the spear are going to have HotUtils. They're just going to go on to HotUtils and select the loadout that they want to load, and then they'll go in and do it. And then after they've done the mission, they'll come out, they'll put HotUtils back on again, and they'll go back to their normal loadout.
It's what I do. It is literally what I do.
You're talking about people that literally spend thousands and thousands of dollars in the game. This is the Reaver thing isn't about making more money. It's about rewarding the players that have already spent thousands and thousands in the game. That's what I look at the Reaver reward simply as, let's really, really do something for the people that have spent tens of thousands of dollars in this game. Nobody else is going to get it except for that 0.1% that's right at the top that just buys everything. This is something that cannot be bought. It is only something that can be got by people that have bought everything else in the game over donkey's years, because you're going to need God mods as well. And God mods are something that literally take, they take a lot more time. It's something that takes years and years and years. You cannot just, all right, okay, with this new thing, you can buy those things so that you've got the 6A mods, and you can rejig around, but that's even more expensive. But the tip of the spear people will have spent that money so that they can have 120 speed sets on every single one of their Relic 9 characters, or at least have 120 speed mod sets for the 5 characters that they need in order to get the Reaver shards.
This is one of those hot
ahead,
topics
Cain.
for him. Like we have on the show, off the show, we've had this discussion. This is one of those like real temperamental, sensitive subjects because he wants his Grand Inquisitor and he wants it before TB, and then they announce when they're going to drop everything.
Call 877 cash now.
I don't
buy
have
yourself an account.
I don't have a structured settlement.
Buy yourself an account that has Grand Inquisitor. Then,
I honestly thought from a business standpoint, if they'd done the model that way, I think they would have. Yeah, of course, it would have benefited me, but that's besides the point. I don't know. I think from a business model, if you'd done the Grand Inquisitor event before this new TB, I don't know. I felt like that would have been a better idea. That's just me. But I mean, Nev's right.
That would have made Reaver more accessible to a wider base. That's not what Reaver's about. They're basically saying, look, the Reaver is going to be exclusive to this tiny fraction for a very limited period of time until everybody else figures out what they need and they catch up, 6-12 months later. So this is, the access to Reaver is gated for 6 to 12 months to the tip of the spear. Not even the tip of the spear, the point at the tip of the spear. And it's not something, because look at the characters that are required in the earlier phases at specific relic levels. There are characters that,
what is it? 3 relic 7s to even participate in the event?
Yeah, exactly. And only characters that have just simply relicked everything and have every character, whether it's relic 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, there are characters that they will have in their roster that people look at and go, why would I ever take Ugnaught to relic 5? Someone that's spending $100,000 a year in the game is going to have Ugnaught at relic 5. And to them, it's, oh, yeah, sure. There we go. Take it to relic 7. For somebody else, that is literally going to take months because they'll be like, well, there are other characters in other squads that I need to take to relic 7 before I even touch the Ugnaught, before I even touch Kit Fisto, before I even touch Bodhi Rook. The tip of the spear already have all of those characters and they're all already relicked. This is not a territory battle that people are going to be able to just buy their way to. It's people that have already, over the years, just through attrition, bought their way to it already, and this is their reward. This territory battle is the alpha consumer's reward from CG.
Nev, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You were not surprised by the relic gate at all, were you?
No, absolutely not. This was a 100. I mean, come on, look, they relic gated the Crankle to relic 5. So this is a new territory battle. It was always going to be. I mean, they're saying you need to. The minimum requirement for the Crankle was relic 5, but we all know that 5 relic 5s get you diddly squat unless A, they're modded right, B, you've got the right team. Most people use 6s and 7s, right? It's exactly the same for this. They're saying that you need relic 5 to attempt it, but in all honesty, you're probably going to need several relic 7s in the squad just to be able to get through maybe 1 of 4 or 2 of 4, 3 of 4. You ain't getting a 4 of 4 without a full relic 7 squad.
There's only 2. There's only 2.
Oh yes,
two phases
waves.
To each,
Phases.
2 ways. 2 waves to each encounter. And on top of that, Neil, it's still a the encounter is not going to change. It's not a random encounter. It's not a chance that you'll see Count Dooku or on light side territory battles.
No, they're fixed. They're going to be fixed
They're
encounters.
fixed encounters
and
not chance encounters. Because you run into, on dark side territory battles, you run into a Shock T.
Yeah.
And you're like, screw you, game. And
thanks a lot, RNG.
Exactly. You can still get through it, but you're sitting there, and your boss is calling you asking why you're still in the crapper. So, Cain, we want to get to know you because we didn't get the chance to do so when we originally scheduled you. What got you into Star Wars?
I was really, really little, and my grandfather, he's passed many, many years ago. He actually took me to see Empire Strikes Back, and I fell in love with Star Wars instantly. I went home. I was picking up sticks and hitting him in the leg with it like it was a lightsaber. I fell in love with it, and he never said anything bad to me about doing that. It was you want to see it again? You want to see the next one? Let's get all of them. Let's watch them all. That's what got me into Star Wars.
Excellent. Wonderful story too. And that, I always tell people have never really truly passed from us if we carry their memory with us. So
exactly.
Absolutely.
To answer the question that you asked me earlier,
sure.
What keeps me in the game?
Yeah. Exactly.
The community, the community does. Since I joined Logan on the podcast, the community has thrown every single resource, detail, informative, everything at me. Like, do this. Hey, this will help. Try this mod.
Yeah,
the community of this game is
support
amazing.
On Discord has been outstanding. It's been like our community has really embraced Cain and tried to help him, and I love that. I'm about to hit 10 million. I don't need help. Just piss off. I'm good. Cain, like they have. Well, no, I do need help, but that's beside.
But not in the game.
Yeah, but no. The outreach to the Immortal one on events and things to do, possible things to farm. I am so impressed every day with the amount of people that take their personal time to say, Cain, we listened to an episode. We think you should do this. I love that. I dig that so much.
Well, that's a testimony, and I'm not trying to, raise the ego of this group, but honestly, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Your Discord community is one of my favorites to lurk in. You guys are, there are some people that overlap our spheres of influence, if you will. Especially the great Bodie. I love my fellow territory battle aficionado.
You chime in on my NFL Sunday picks every now and again.
Oh, yeah, I do. Who expected the Browns to win that game?
I didn't. I got that pick wrong.
Deshaun Watson returning to Houston. Come on. You knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, I went off the emotional energy of Houston, and it didn't. Yeah, no, that didn't pan out.
Yeah, the community, they accepted me when I first started, and I didn't have anything. And then Nev and the Great Gift, like Nev, you have no idea, man, how thrilled I was and how devoted I am to this game.
No, absolutely, Nev. You've I honestly think with everything that's going on in the game now, if he hadn't gotten your account, I think you would have gotten discouraged. But you being gracious enough to gift him that, I think you've given him a huge step ladder to work on, and which is great because he was my boy in the military, and the fact that he's sticking with it. So the both of us.
I was saving that. I was saving it for a special occasion. It's been that because Cain and I would regularly talk, but now it's like he's like that nagging wife of what are we doing for dinner? He's like, dude, what do I do with this? I'm like, for
I know exactly what you can do with that.
A square. I mean that account was square. That account was squared away with 2 top fleets. You know, the separatists
Still
and the
is.
rebels were the separatists and the rebels were all relict. I mean, Scarif Rebel, Pathfinder, and Biston were relict on that account, for God's sakes.
Yes.
You know?
Nev, he's been beating people with 2 to 3 legends.
Yeah, no, when I still played it, I was beating people. I mean, you know, I did 4 accounts for 4 GACs and got 4 Kybers 4 times in a row. Because
My God, man, when do you sleep?
The quadfecta.
Yeah,
When
the
do you
quad
sleep?
factor. You see, Thisk, who's another SWGOH content street, he did it with 3. He did 3 accounts,
God bless
3
all.
times in a row, Kyber, and the only way that I could beat him was to dust off an old account and do 4. But as soon as I finished that 4, I stopped playing 2 of the accounts immediately because it was too much. It was having to do research and scouting on 4 accounts. I mean, this was before all of the tools were available. I was using an old mod manager tool. And this was before HotUtils, so I was using Ivory. I was using Ivory, and I was using an old mod management system that I know Ray Rock's probably not in the chat, but that Ray Rock recommended. And I had to do separate sheet. Oh God, it was a nightmare, but it was worth it because I can say I am the only person to do it. I mean, somebody else can say they've done it, but I can say, yeah, but I streamed it. There are witnesses to me doing it. You can say that you've done it, but you have no proof. I can call up on 20 people and say they physically saw me do it, you know. And Pom-Pom-Tastic was one. Pom-Pom-Tastic was actually one of the easier ones because I could dump those relic fleets on defense, and my opponents just wouldn't get past them. Because this was before the Executor. This was back when the Get 2 fleets were, you know, king.
We're meta, yeah.
So I would put rebels down with the Galactic Republic, and people would be like, oh, you know, they'd throw their toughest team against the Galactic Republic, thinking the rebels would be easier, and it was the other way around.
No, Nev, there's
the other way around.
No, there's
so
been
they've
some
used their
GACs
best
where
fleet
he's
against.
messaged me and been like, the fleet saved my rear end.
It was the rebel
I'm not
fleet that got the
surprised.
hold.
You got Nev's account. Your fleets are good. So
in all of my GACs, Nev, I have only been wiped on fleets once.
Yeah.
Cain, you know, anything about you that you want people to know going into if they want to tune into the show, what are they connecting with you on?
Well, he enjoys long walks on the beach. Sorry, Cain, go ahead.
A stiff one at the end of the day. No,
you mean a drink, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. PG.
Mainly, I'm a gamer. I've always been a gamer. There's never been a game that has hit me that I've never looked at and said, challenge accepted. And that's one of the things I love about this game. When Conquest, I have no GLs. Logan told me that this was going to be the worst grind of my life, and I'm having fun with it. I'm halfway through Sector 4 with no GLs.
There you go. Logan,
Yes,
tell
sir.
us about your podcast and how to tune in.
Oh my goodness. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Please check in every Tuesday. We try to have guests. If we don't, then you're just going to listen to Cain and I ramble. We do our best. We have some interesting segments. We love to do overpriced beer and hot wings, where we go through the store of CG and tell the average consumer whether it's a pass or a smash.
She's a review.
Yeah,
that's what Warrior used to do back in the day.
Yeah, no, I do. And as a spender, over the years I've gotten a pretty good idea of what's good and what isn't. So there are some things in the store that are good night, man, a pass. But yet every now and again, you find a diamond in the rough, my friends, and there is a smash. It's rare, but they're there.
That energy pack the past 2 days help me get Jabba right away.
There is real quick. There is one pack. I don't remember the name of it because the second it shows up, it's so quick. I hit it and I'm done. I spend it and then I got to look at my bank statement. It's a $9.99 pack and it gives you a bunch of signal data.
Oh, the Monday pack. It's
yeah.
every single Monday.
Oh my God. Purchased, done, sold. Like, here, take my money.
Well, people, they CG doesn't really talk about the cadence of their offers. Which
they really don't.
They should
really
do.
Don't, which I think is a bad business model.
Well, no. How much hate would they get if they're advertising on the forums for their packs other than saying it will be available?
I'd like it because I'm old and I need a reminder.
I agree, but you're gonna get all of the people that are complaining about, they're catering to the Krakens, and you'll get more people. Do you know how to tell somebody's free to play, Logan?
Yeah, I listen to Cain.
Yeah, well, no, I was gonna say they'll tell you. Don't worry.
No,
it's like CrossFit and hot yoga. They'll tell you.
Red Arrow.
It's only because
if you're a Red Arrow, how do you know there's a Red Arrow in the room? They'll tell you.
It's only because of Cain's respect for Nev. I'll get a message every now and again. And he'll be like, "Dude, I need this pack." I'm like, "Dude, you can't do it. You know that. You're sworn to see." Like, Nev is KGB. Trust but verify.
Nev, the hardest.
Can't do it.
The hardest thing for me in this game not to spend money on is the Conquest Pass.
Dude, that is hard.
That's why it needs to be available for crystals.
It does. Oh my God, I agree.
We posted
$999.
3 times.
We talked about that. $999. That needs to be a thing.
That's the hardest part about free to play. Everything else I can pass on. I spend no time in the store at all. When I go to Conquest and I see what I'm missing out on and all the work that I'm putting into it, that's the hard part.
And Cass says they need to cater to the old and forgetful. I agree.
I if they want more money, I agree. Like, they'll get mine. I don't even know what the hell I had for breakfast.
So we know what to expect. How do people find you, Cain?
We are on 90% of all audio podcast formats.
Right, but how? I mean, what do I look up? Old man Cain or what?
You can go. If you look us up on YouTube, you can look us up by using the Old Man's Cantina. It's the third selection down, if I'm not mistaken, unless we've moved up lately. Anchor, you can find us on Anchor as well. The Old Man's Cantina will be the #1 listing. If you want to reach out to either of us, you can always email theimmortalcain12@gmail.com.
There we go. And of course, we'll put the links for both Anchor and for your Discord down in the show notes. If you're listening to this on replay, we'll post them in the chat later on. If you guys want to send me something to post in chat, I'll take care of that too.
And don't email me. I won't answer you. So.
I will. I'm the respondent to all of our YouTube videos.
You're the respondent for most of our channels. I chime in rarely, and when I do, it's usually sarcastic.
Yep. Well, welcome once again. This is why you are me.
Should be rare. That's why they're pearls.
Nev, this is why I love you.
That's why I'm rare. When I give offer something, it's a pearl. They're pearls of wisdom, and pearls are rare.
Nev, you are the Bob Ross of SWGOH. You are awesome. You paint a happy little tree everywhere you go, and I love it. I love this podcast and listening to you. Like you
we made a mistake with this stroke. If you tell anybody about my mistake, I'm gonna cut you. Now, happy little tree.
Paul, you can't make a mistake with a number 5 fan brush. Dude, that evergreen is perfect. You can't do it. You can't make a mistake. It's too simple. It's just not going to happen. But I get it. It works. Yeah, it works.
All right. So, any final question for our people? Nev.
No, we're good to go.
All right. Guys, thank you so much for taking your time out. Spending time with us. There's more to come. There's more to come with these guys, and you guys need to be there in the front row when it happens. So,
I'm there on the after show. I'll be there. Absolutely.
Oh my God. Okay, so become a Patreon or a subscriber on Twitch. Come join us at the after show. Having Old Man Logan stop by is always a blast. And Cain, you get to do it this time too, huh?
I'll be there.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back. There is no Dickie and the Noob this week. There is none for the rest of the year. But there's a special coming up after the new year. So let's do a quick break. And we'll see you in just a few minutes right here on the Escape Pod cast.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to Shitty Bill's Arena tracking bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
Are you like us and play more than one mobile game? Well, we have good news. The Escape Podcast has expanded its lineup.
There's the flagship Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes show every first and third Friday with Paul Anthony and the Nav.
And the Marvel Strike Force show on the second and fourth Fridays with Flair, Kyle, and Nick.
Join our Discord to stay up to date with these and our additional shows produced under the Nerdy Network flag.
Everything happens live on the Escape Pod cast Twitch channel, or you can catch up on what you missed on our YouTube channel or your favorite podcast app.
Thanks for listening to the Escape Pod cast. Be nice to each other, damn it.
You're listening to the Escape Pod cast.
Now, welcome back, ladies and gents. It's time for some Patreon's Choice. Do we have any questions then, Paul?
We do have some questions. Plus, we decided to have the Old Man's Cantina stick around for this one as well. Number one, top 3 non-Star Wars sequel movies.
Sequel movies.
Sequel movies. So,
okay,
sequels to
Terminator
something.
2,
okay.
Terminator 2, Aliens, and I'm going to say, people can lambast me all I like, but I enjoy the toilet humor and the conversation in the burger shop's brilliant. Clerks 2.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Logan.
The Lord of the Rings argument and the Star Wars arguments are brilliant.
Yes.
They're just awesome.
And I'm also taking. No, I'm not going to say what I'm bringing back. Go ahead, Logan.
Maybe I'm being a little silly, but can the question be further elaborated? Non-Star Wars, like sci-fi.
So what sequels do you like
And it
but they can't be Star Wars, and it can't be Empire or yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, definitely Aliens is the top of my list. I personally think that's one of Cameron's best features, his best movies, especially after Ridley Scott's masterpiece. Man, Aliens. The latest Blade Runner wasn't bad. I didn't like. It wasn't. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't bad. And oh my goodness, I had one too. All right, move on to Cain. What do you got?
What do you got, Cain?
Make him an offer you can't refuse.
He did. I was totally thrown off guard. Totally.
No. That's a big bloody hint. Make him an offer he can't refuse.
Godfather.
Sequel. Godfather Part 2.
The best of the three. Thank you, Nev. He got me. There it is. No, he's right. He's actually right. De Niro is young Vito. He got me. That's it.
Mine would be I have to throw Aliens in there. I'm a huge Xenomorph fan. John Wick 2. I love the second one. The first one was good, but I love the second one. The second one was a hit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll piggyback Clerks 2 with Clerks 3.
Okay.
Clerks 3. Clerks 3 is
gosh.
amazing.
So Clerks 2 I wasn't as much of a fan of as the original, but Clerks 3 made me cry like a little baby.
Yes.
I haven't
no spoilers. I'm no spoilers on it, but oh man, that actually got me.
I've not watched Clerks 3 yet.
I haven't seen Clerks 3 yet either.
Highly recommended, and it does the series justice. My other two sequel non-Star Wars, Avengers Endgame, come on, and Jurassic Park 2.
Fair.
All right. Top 3 non-Star Wars prequel movies from Zaz.
Ooh. Okay. Hannibal.
Okay.
That was a good one. I mean, Hannibal. Red Dragon. And Manhunter. Same movie. It's the exact same movie. Different title.
Very good
different
movie.
actors. But Manhunter was brilliant. And Red Dragon was... they remade Manhunter as Red Dragon because Silence of the Lambs and Hannibal was so successful. I'll go Manhunter, I'll go Red Dragon, and I'll go I'll have to think about my third. Move on to somebody else.
All right. Cain, we're going to go to you next.
Yeah, I'm probably going to take a lot of heat for this one. I'm drawing a blank on the name here.
We'll help you.
Prometheus was the prequel,
but there was Prometheus was the prequel.
There was a second one that came
Alien
right after
Covenant.
that was still Alien Covenant. I thought that was better than Prometheus, but Prometheus was still good.
You wouldn't be saying that if you'd read the comics and the graphic novels.
Fair.
If you'd read the comics and the graphic novels, you'd be going, what the hell is this crap?
Well, that totally screws up my response to this question.
No, you just answer how you want, old man Logan. You answer how you want.
It literally was those two. I thought
All
they
right.
were well done. Yeah, I really loved Prometheus. I'm 46 years old. I remember seeing Aliens in the theater and read the old Dark Horse comics and just loved that universe. And I even really loved Alien 3, even though that's not the vision that was originally that the director wanted. I've seen both versions and they're both outstanding. But yeah, for that question, I'm kind of like Nev, Prometheus, Alien Covenant, and then I'm kind of, man, you get some tough questions.
See, I was going to throw in for my second one, Prey, the prequel to Predator. It wasn't good, but it was decent. I liked the way that they tied it in.
All right. My three.
They tied it in with a pistol. Come on.
But it still tied it. You didn't see. That's the one thing in that whole movie. That's the one thing in the whole movie you didn't see coming. That's the one thing in the whole movie you didn't see coming.
All right.
It didn't even tie it into Predator. It tied it into Predator 2.
But it's still a prequel, and he liked it. Are you going to hate me because I like X-Men First Class, Monsters University, and The King's Man?
No, because The Kingsman was the one I was going to say.
Okay.
But I'm biased because I'm British, and I was looking for for something
I have my third.
Quintessentially British.
I have my third.
Go ahead.
There was a movie made in 1982, released in 1983, and in my opinion is the greatest sci-fi horror film ever made, and that's John Carpenter's The Thing. They made a prequel.
They made the prequel, yeah. That
wasn't bad.
That was a good prequel.
Tied in the Norwegian camp
very, very good
well.
Prequel.
But The Thing, 1982, the greatest sci-fi horror movie ever made. Period. Changed.
And the prequel literally it flawlessly ties the two movies together.
Absolutely, to the music.
Flawlessly.
You could edit both movies together, and you got a seamless.
You could watch them back to. I mean, you'd be like, "Why are the special? Why?" You'd be like, "Why do the special effects suck?"
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because it wasn't.
That man's got no hands.
Because it wasn't Rob Bottin doing the special effects.
Logan, you get to answer this first. Top 3 RDJ movies. Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr.
Oh my God. He was actually really funny in Back to School with Robert Downey Jr.
Okay.
No, not Robert. He was funny in Back to School, but with what the fuck is the comedian's name? Oh, I get no respect.
Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, Rodney Dangerfield.
But not
Robert Danger. Yep.
Rodney, somebody remind me that I have to bleep out Logan here.
My bad. Sorry. So there was that. Honestly, I think Avengers Endgame was really
that's fine.
And the other one would be it's a tie between that and The Judge with Robert Duvall.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, that was on my list. That was brilliant. That cracking little drama. That.
Yeah. No.
It's
and
like, he can actually act.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nev.
And Chaplin was really good.
Okay, you gave 4 there. Nev, what you got?
So mine was Endgame, The Judge, and The Pickup Artist.
Okay, Cain.
It's an old 80s movie.
Oh, The Pickup.
Oh, and a cameo. His cameo in Weird Science was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Cain.
It was funny.
Due Date, U.S. Marshals, and Iron Man.
All right, Due Date, I agree. I actually also loved him in Sherlock Holmes, but you guys are missing RDJ's best role ever. Tropic Thunder.
Oh
yeah. Wow.
I know what kind of man I am.
I'm the guy.
I'm a dude disguised as a dude, pretending to be another dude. Yeah.
You're thinking about dangling Lance's dice.
He has some of the best lines in that movie.
All right.
He does. He has some of the best lines in that movie.
I'm going to start us out. Top 3 Tom Hardy movies. I mean, can we not get through this list without mentioning Bane and Dark Knight Rises?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know. Could we?
Can I start with this?
Sure.
No. Go ahead.
All right, go ahead.
Because Bronson.
Yes.
Good Lord.
Oh my God!
That
Brilliant
film
in that.
was Nev. Come on, Bronson. Yeah. That was superb acting. Yeah. That was just.
Okay.
That was outrageous. Legend, where he played the Cray brothers.
Legend.
I'm sorry.
He's playing Ronnie and Reggie.
Yeah. He's playing 2 parts
Yeah.
That was outstanding. And
where's your guns? I come here for a shootout. You call yourselves gangsters.
I cussed her.
Oh my
God. What you got for your third one there, Logan?
Honestly, it's the series Wuthering Heights.
Okay.
He was really good in Wuthering Heights. He was outstanding. Tom Hardy is actually a really good actor.
Oh, he's an excellent. He's a thespian. That's because he's a thespian.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know what? I actually think his character of Bane is one of his poorest performances.
I'm a comic book nerd.
I with you there. No, I like his.
You adapted to the dark. I was born in it.
No. Was he Bane? Was he Bane? Absolutely. But in Legend and some of the other things he's done, that man is on another level.
All right, for me,
you've got to think a little bigger, darling.
The Dark Knight Rises, as I mentioned, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and Sucker Punch. Nev.
Excuse me?
What? You didn't like Sucker Punch?
I loved Sucker Punch. He's not in it.
Oh shit! Sorry, edit.
That one I can leave. I thought he was.
No, he's not in Sucker Punch.
Okay. Well,
I'm gonna get.
I lose a point.
I watch that movie at least once a month because I like watching, extremely hot women totally kicking ass.
Oh, you're thinking of a different one.
Okay.
Sucker.
The fact you said that, I love you even more. I watch extremely hot women.
Okay, we're talking about two totally different movies here.
Okay.
The Tom Hardy Sucker Punch from 2011 was about a bunch of guys fighting. Now the other Sucker Punch,
that wasn't called Sucker Punch.
Yes, it was.
No, are you talking about the movie where he's an MMA fighter?
Yes.
No. One he's an MMA fighter is Warrior, and that's on my list.
That's right.
Yeah, that was because Warrior was in my list. It was Warrior. Mine was Warrior, Inception, and I've got to say that the movie sucked, but his role was good in the Star Trek Insurrection.
All right, what you got, Cain?
I go with that.
Warrior, Lawless, and I'm gonna take all kinds of heat for this. I actually think that he did a decent job. He'll never replace him, but he did a decent job as Mad Max.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't.
No,
I watched it. I was entertained.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good movie, but it was still a good popcorn movie.
He did good, but he'll never replace Mad Max.
No, you can't. No. Some movies should not be remade.
I agree.
Very true.
I agree.
All right, Nev, did you give your 3?
Yes.
Okay. Uma Thurman movies. Nev, start us out.
Oh, Pulp Fiction. Kill Bill, and my super ex-girlfriend.
Okay. Logan.
Oh man.
You are not allowed to say Batman Forever.
I'm going to say Batman Forever.
No, it was not Batman Forever. It was Batman and Robin.
Yeah, I'm going to say the Batman movie. Just warning you now.
Wasn't she Poison Ivy?
She was Poison Ivy.
Yeah, Poison Ivy.
So bad.
With Arnold as Mr. Freeze. Everybody freeze.
Oh, you were
Ice to meet you.
Ice, baby. I get paid. I will freeze you. No. I actually really liked her character in Pulp Fiction.
Yep. I think that's going to be in all 3 of our lists.
Yeah, and I honestly think, just from an acting standpoint and physicality, I got to go with the Kill Bill movies. Like, I really do. Like, I enjoy the Kill Bill movies. I do.
All right. Cain?
It didn't exist. It didn't exist. It didn't exist. There were no female action lead role stars before 2012. Doesn't exist.
You had to go there.
I had to go there, yeah.
Obviously,
because
Pulp
Jennifer
Fiction.
Lawrence
No,
was the
she's-
first
no,
female
she's
lead role in an
queen.
action movie back in 2012. There were none before her.
No, none. Scarlett O'Hara? Who's she? No.
Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
All right,
No,
Cain.
hands down, I have to say Pulp Fiction. That's one of my all-time favorites, top 3. I enjoyed the Avengers, like way back in the
Oh,
day.
yeah,
It was
no,
her and
yeah.
I can't remember the guy's name, but he plays
Ray
in
Fiennes.
Kingsman. Yeah,
Ray Fiennes.
Ralph
Brilliant.
Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah, sorry, but brilliant British actor. Brilliant.
It was a great. There was that period where they were taking old 80s British shows. They did The Saint. They did The Saint as well with Van Kilmer around about the same time that they did the
Is
Avengers.
it Ralph? Have I been mispronouncing?
You have Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ralph Fiennes.
wow, okay.
So I mean,
Kill Bill Volume 2.
all right. So yeah, I was gonna say, Beatrix Kiddo built Kill Bill 2. Then, I am saying Batman and Robin. I don't care. Poison Ivy is awesome. And
Holy rusted metal, Batman.
And Pulp Fiction, of course, as we all said. All right, next question from Zaz. We got one last to go. Top 3 cult classic movies, and I said cult. I don't know if I don't understand the laughter on there, but top 3 cult classic movies.
Battle Beyond the Stars. Planet Terror. Clerks.
All right. Cain?
Yeah, Clerks. I will say Clerks. The other, I'm drawing a blank on 2 more.
All right, Logan, you want to chime in?
Man, cult classics. I'm gonna be honest. I have to go with Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Thank
because
you.
Yes.
Tim Curry is just.
I know that
you
song
could
off by
always-
heart. I have gone to Rocky Horror parties dressed as Frankenfurter.
Nev,
I have to mention.
Cloud.
Nev, I couldn't love you anymore. Like we've reached a point where I'm gonna become a stalker. I'm just, good Lord, Nev, I love you. Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, by the way, Logan, you can always judge a person correctly by where they know Tim Curry from.
Oh, absolutely. His singing performance in Fern Gully is next to nothing but brilliant.
He does good villains.
Oh my
He
God,
does
Fern Gully
good
when he plays
villains.
when he does Praxis and he does Toxic Love, that is one of the greatest fucking language.
Damn it, two of them.
That is one of the greatest songs ever recorded. Toxic Love is outstanding. Anywho,
No, Sweet Transvestite is the best one ever.
dude, he you can't help but look at him and go, man, that dude is like, he's got it. Even the movie Clue, which was not well received, he's so good in it.
Hot Patootie, Bless My Soul, was the best of Rocky Horror. Anyway,
I love Tim Curry. It's a very obscure movie, A Boy and His Dog, with he was in Miami Vice. What's his name? His daughter was in those. 50
not
Shades
sure,
of
because we got,
Grey
but we
movie.
do have to wrap up real quick here. So I'm
Oh,
going
go
to give
ahead.
my 3. Of course, Clerks makes it to the list every single time. Rocky
Yep,
Horror makes it to
Clerks.
the list. And here you go, Neil. Cult classic film, Cannibal the Musical.
Ew.
Musical.
What?
It's the story of Albert Packer. Well, look it up. Cannibal the Musical. I'll let you look that up, and we'll do our sign off. Neil, what you got?
I'm about to Google that. Right?
Well, I keep saying that I'm going to do some Modern Warfare 2, but then I just get so into playing it that I completely forget to turn the computer on and stream it. But I will. I'm going to make a concerted effort this weekend to start streaming Modern Warfare 2. I've got myself several core groups of people that I can do some DMZ with, so that it's not just me doing it solo. Yeah, I'm planning on doing some. I'm definitely going to do some. this week.
Yeah, coming
He's
up
not
in the
he's
next.
not lying. It's a thing. Cannibal the Musical. I'm reading it.
You are.
Word.
And in the next 2, actually, we're off for Christmas. So the next time that people are going to see us is 3 weeks from tonight.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yes. We will see you guys on, let's see, what's the last Friday of the year?
Stand by.
My calendar is not popping up on the screen, so I just want to make sure that I do give the correct date. The date,
30th.
Yes, the 30th. So we are
30th.
going to be doing a year-end show on December 30th, but we will, of course, be reviewing all of the kits. We're going to talk about the kits for Riva, Afra, and Sana coming up there soon. So they all end with A. Have you noticed that? Afra, Sana, Riva.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. They need to start putting out other ending letter characters. Anyway, hopefully there'll be some time coming up with Vault 37. It's right here. I'm serious about it. It just, have to find some time. And with work picking up big time, it's put me behind. So, anything you guys got coming up next Tuesday? You taking a break for the holidays, or are you doing every Tuesday?
No, next Tuesday we actually have Celiac Sarah coming on from the Hollywood
wonderful interview.
Talk to all of us about the new TB and what to expect, because my expectation is patience, because you're gonna get your teeth kicked in and you need to just accept it, and it's gonna be rough. Everyone needs to buckle in because it's gonna be rough.
All right, and then next week will be the MSF show with Kyle, Flair, and Nick. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Otherwise, we will see you in 3 weeks. And until then, seriously, I mean this, especially during the holidays, be nice to each other, damn it. Neil?
Push the button.
Please.
Don't mind if I do.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the suit. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.